Very well could. But, I mean, you talk about mine being, my property not being that much. Mine's only gone up 20%. Imagine if I had a really nice house and everything, how much my
Hey,
property taxes would have went
This
up.
here is Noah Ansley. He is the new newspaper reporter. This is Fletcher Holiday of EMI. And Fletcher, maybe you can give him a card just in case he needs you.
Okay.
Please, sir.
You see him get that through.
They jumped on it. Oh, yeah.
See Jerry.
There's another one.
No, not mine.
Okay.
This was a live tree. I got a neighbor with a dead tree that's not doing anything about it, and it'll reach my house.
Did they pay for it to get cleaned up?
Or Georgia law. If it's dead,
But I know
It's
it's
his.
if you do.
but if it's like, yeah, oh yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, if it's a live tree,
Sorry,
it's not
are you
yours.
gonna be doing any PowerPoints tonight?
Yeah, no way, no one can.
So,
And
You got a
then,
neighbor's yard.
sorry, one last.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they hired a tree company to come in. Well, it's just-
I'm doing excellent. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
I mean, it wasn't,
Yeah,
it wasn't, they just.
Yeah, they're gone.
Another reporter I work with told me you're good at like labeling stuff between.
Thomas, don't get a paper cut.
Is there anything like that on this meeting that needs to be?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Yeah, I was just told to make sure to check about something.
Yeah. No, not in this one.
Is this gonna be a pretty, I mean, this is my first city meeting I've ever covered. Is this gonna be
Oh, really?
pretty light or?
That's pretty light meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not really much. Yeah, you'll see when it's a heavy meeting. It'll be full.
I went to one in Clarksville
You'll
the
know
other
as soon as
day,
you
the
walk in.
shadow. Yeah, I went to one in Clarksville the other day, the shadow of my editor. And it was,
Yeah, it depends on the topics. There's not any crazy topics on this one.
Change your mind. Forget it, I'm leaving.
So what other cities are you covering?
For right now, it's just Demorest, but I know as I gotta get more settled into my role, we'll start splitting it up more evenly. That way we're all covering the same amount. So right now, I'm just Demorest, while the other two reporters are covering parts of Harvey and Marion.
Right.
All right, folks, we're gonna go ahead and get the ball rolling. If you will, stand with me and pray. Councilman Davis.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord, for this opportunity to come together for the benefit of our city and our employees and our residents. Father, we ask for special blessing today. School is starting back. We ask that you bless these kids, these teachers, get this school year off to a good start. Father, we ask for special consideration for the Smith family tonight, Lord, for Frank, his passed away. He is sorely missed. We just ask that you be with us tonight. We ask this in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Ronnie, did you hear Maggie? Okay. Just go on to Jim and Thomas.
Okay.
Please.
We've got Jim Wilburn here, and he is going to discuss the resignation from the DBA of Rebecca Breen.
Good evening, council. We sadly have lost another one of our directors. She had better offers of employment in Chattanooga, and her and her family have moved there. So we lost her in turn, and she has given us her resignation. So I'll bring it before y'all for acceptance.
We need, so we'll vote on that.
And I don't know, Megan, did you give everybody one of those letters?
It's in there.
It's in there, okay. Okay. So,
You
yeah,
don't have to.
and that's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
Sorry.
I just did a text to Josh with GMA, so why don't we keep going and we'll see when he comes off.
So, the next, agenda item is discussion of sewer capital projects.
And Club Time, when you text Josh, make sure it's, I don't know if I have his number, you may have to email it, I just see the frame, not paying attention. All right, on our sewer, y'all will all open that up. Tell me it's not. All right, on the first list there, you will see the capital projects for 2026. Everybody got it? Yep, that is in our budget right now. And in there, we have the dissolved oxygen analyzers and aeration basins for the water plant. And that's the one that was $40,000 on this list. And pleased to say, you'll see it on the next page when we go there, that it came in at $31,000. So it's $9,000 some savings. And Fletcher will go on this some more. On the September 1st meeting, the compact classifier and fluid structure, they've had a hard time getting some quotes and they couldn't make our cutoff date. So Fletcher will explain that one next month. The flow meter and the spare parts, we'll talk about that one more in September also. So the only thing we need to approve at sewer today, because again, it was budgeted, is the 31,000. And the company that provided that is our bid from Durden, who does our
SCADA system.
SCADA system that we did. So this is an addition to that. And Fletcher can tell more about that.
Yes, thanks, Mark. So as Mark pointed out, these items are on they're the capital outlay that was included in the budget that was approved and adopted by the city council. The total amount was $310,000. Of that $310,000, as Mark pointed out, we are asking for final approval, if you will, of the dissolved oxygen analyzers. These devices are installed on the aeration basins, the orbital aeration basins at the wastewater plant that adjust the air of the system based on needed oxygen. So currently the operators go out there, they have handheld DO meters, they'll measure the dissolved oxygen in the basin. Based on those oxygen levels, they will either increase or decrease the aerators in the orbital basin. This is an automated feature, so it targets a set DO. It actually will save power in the long run and optimize the treatment process. So this is a great addition to the already great wastewater treatment plant that you guys have. And as Mark pointed out, it's actually less than what we had originally projected when we budgeted this particular process.
And the funding source for this will be our SPLOST water and sewer from sewer SPLOST number 6. The breakout in that one is from number 6, we have roughly $52,000 remaining. So we'll pull that 31 if y'all approve that out of that one, because we need to start winding down number 6 if we'll be rolling into number 8 April 1st.
So this is not replacing something we had now, it's enhanced.
Yes, sir. That is true. This is an addition to the actual process. This is a process control device. Yeah, there actually will be DO sensors that will be installed in each basin. There'll be a monitor device that records the DO. That instrumentation will be connected to the SCADA system, which will allow the automated feature and the interaction with the operators.
So what we'll do, if to y'all subject to, you would make a motion on the first one, and then on B, you make a motion to table it until September 1st. Yes, yes.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll have that cost at the next council meeting. The vendor wasn't able to get all of their costs together to us in order to meet the deadline for this meeting.
All right. I'm gonna say,
And is that also, an addition, not a replacement?
Yes, sir. That also would be an addition. So this particular device is for the headworks. Currently, you do have a grit removal system and an automated bar screen. However, when they remove the grit from the influent flow at the wastewater plant and the debris from the bar screen, it just gets discharged into a dumpster, a small dumpster on wheels, and it spills on the ground. It makes a mess. It has a lot of water that's still contained in the debris that we're removing. So it's added weight that we have to pay for, that goes to the landfill for tipping fees. And so this classifier actually collects the grit and the debris from the bar screen, and it removes the majority of the water, keeps the entire area clean, keeps debris down, keeps flies and odor and such down at bay. And it just enhances the operation of the facility.
and y'all like to see, this is the very first stage where the water comes into the plant. It's got this machine that kind of goes up like a ladder, and it's letting stuff fall and roll out. So it's a little cumbersome, and you look at it, you're going, man, why is that as dirty as that is over there? Well, you stand there about 5 minutes, and you can understand it's constant for Dalton to be raking or sweeping it up, something to that degree. So it will enhance the appearance, and that whole area be a little cleaner.
But it also will reduce the cost going to the landfill too, as it's removing more of the water.
All right, so, we're moving on to the next item on the agenda, discussion of water capital projects. That's Mr. Holliday with Mr. Musselwhite.
Let's ask you this, let's talk about B through H first,
Okay.
and then we'll come back to the big one on number A.
Okay. All right. So
What we have, I'm sorry,
go
What
ahead.
we have is this page in there, which shows you, this is what Brian's needs have been for several years. And this was approved in our budget last year. And I'll let Fletcher talk about these. And we've completed one of these, which we approved the, last month for that price of that one. And that one has been done, one stretched also. I'll let Fletcher take it from there.
Yes, sir. So the remainder of these items, B through H, these are all items that were presented in the budget for capital outlays. These consist of upgrading, so these are not new additions, but these are existing booster pump stations that are located throughout the city's water distribution system. A lot of these booster pump stations have been in service for a long period of time. Many of the electrical components have reached their end date. A lot of these pumps and motors, some of them are inoperable. Others need to be replaced and maintained. So these line items that you see for each one of them are the individual cost for each one of these booster pump stations. The total amount that was allocated for the capital outlays was $250,000. This value was also included in the capital improvement plan as well. And these are needed improvements for these booster pump stations. On line item H, these are new flow meters. These are zone meters that are located throughout the distribution system that allows Brian to keep track of water in certain areas. It allows him to determine when there's a leak, when there's unaccounted for water usage in certain areas. So he can determine where his crew needs to go when there's a break or a leak in order to get that particular area back in service.
Could you explain the difference in cost for some of these boosters? Why is there a difference?
Yes, sir. Some of them are because of the size of the booster pump station. Some of these pumps are smaller. Some of them have 5 horsepower booster pumps inside of them. Some of them have 100 horsepower booster pumps in them. So a lot of them is based on the size of the pumps. Some of them are that we're not replacing the pumps. Some of them are just electrical upgrades or replacement of certain items that have failed. And some of them are replacement of motors. So for instance, the Highway 17 booster pump station, which is $99,000, is a large booster pump station, and we are essentially going to be replacing both of those pumps that are outdated. They've been rebuilt multiple times, and they're just 1 gallon away from essentially not being operational and creating water issues in the distribution system. So that is why you'll see some of the cost. The lowest is $10,000 and the highest is $99,000. Primarily the size of the booster pump station and those particular needed repairs.
Guys, these B through H total 228,000, and what I had left was 21,000 in SPLOST 6, and then 139,000 in SPLOST 7. That totals 160 minus 228. It leaves $68,000 to come out of cash flow for the water and sewer department. Right now, we are in a position you could use those funds to do that if y'all so choose. So what we would need is a motion for B through H.
Fletcher, is this gonna be done by your company or contractor?
So this would be done by MPE. That's the maintenance company that Brian uses to maintain the electrical pumps and motors and such.
Do they carry it to the ones that are getting new or new parts? Do they come with, I guess, warranty or?
Yes, so any of the new pumps that will be installed, they will have a warranty on them. And depending on the cost of them, then we could actually, some of the smaller ones, usually we'll be able to qualify as a capital asset improvement, especially the Highway 17 booster pump station.
What's the general time frame on warranties?
On warranties on there, 3 to 5 years on the actual pumps themselves, depending on the size.
What would be the timeline for B through H? End of the year?
Yes, I would expect that all of these would be completed by the end of the year. But I'd have to coordinate with Brian on when he could have certain ones offline for the needed repairs, but that would definitely be answered better by him. But my anticipation would be by the end of the year, I would think all of these could be.
No, I think that's good. Thank you.
We have, Josh.
Oh, Josh is here.
Or do they?
We'll come back to that because it's going to be a few minutes.
Okay.
We have Josh online now.
Stop it. Are we done with this topic?
Well, we are from B through H. Y'all tell me what you want to do.
Let's go ahead and let him speak since he's online, if
Okay.
we have sound.
Rhonda, do we have sound?
And this is a discussion of the Georgia Municipal Employees Benefit System, defined benefit retirement plan ordinance and adoption agreement.
Josh, you there?
Raise your hand if you can hear us. Okay, so he can hear us, we just
We
can't hear
can't hear
him.
you.
Yeah, the worst case, you guys number.
Could you text him for my number or your number?
I emailed him. I'll ask him first.
Well, just tell him, just give me my cell phone number, please. Hey, Josh,
Hey, can you hear me?
we can.
Okay.
Back into the mic.
Sorry, let me turn the volume down on the Zoom so you're trust. Okay. Can everyone in the room hear me?
Yes.
Right there.
Okay.
And I apologize. It looks like the mic was working on my end. I'm not sure what was going on, but do you want me just to do a general overview of the plan change?
Yes.
Okay. The amended documents were sent over to you guys, so they do have to be approved as an ordinance. So this is going to increase the benefit multiplier to the 1.75% benefit multiplier. The cost study, I believe you guys have already reviewed that cost study, but the increase to the plan, it would be $35,000, $36,000 annually, or you can look at it as a percentage of payroll, which would be the 1.8% of payroll increase. Is there anything in detail that you need me to cover other than that?
No, let's just see. I mean, it's going to take 2 reads, guys. This is since it's an ordinance.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Correct.
So we'll have this back for y'all on September 1st.
And current multiplier is 1.5.
Yes, sir. Correct.
On June 2nd, y'all voted to increase it from 1.5 to 1.75. So this is just the ordinance that we have to do 2 reads on
That we
to put that in place.
Okay. All right.
So y'all already voted on it.
Okay. I just wanted clarification because I thought we
Yes,
had.
y'all did. This is just the
Yes.
ordinance.
Yeah, and just a little bit of background, all of our retirement plans are ordinances. They're registered with the state of Georgia. It was actually passed in the legislature in the 60s or 70s. So all of our plans are ordinances, so that's why it has to go through the 2 reading process.
All right.
Anything else, guys?
No.
Well, I was looking through this thing and at the bottom of page 14, the top of page 15, it's all about qualifications.
All right, hang on. Let everybody get there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 14, 15?
Yeah, the bottom of 14 and top.
Talking about exceptions.
The PDF, you're talking about the PDF page or the actual page number?
Actual page.
Actual page number.
Right here.
Exception right there at the bottom.
Page number, okay.
Did you have a question?
Yes,
Okay.
about that. All right, it talks about exceptions and it talks about the city manager's position. It says the only requirement for a city manager to get full retirement is age 65. There's no years of service on this.
Evidently, there's been, remember, we talked to Josh about changes that's ever been made on this, and that was in May 1st of 2018.
Of 18.
Mayor and council changed that.
But my understanding is they did that for one employee and it was supposed to be a temporary change and it was supposed to go back to the original contract.
Do you have any of that information that I've never
I do
heard?
not. That's why I want to look at that.
So it's only for the city manager that was in office on 10/1/2018.
That was supposed to be a temporary
It
thing.
only applies to that one person, but we keep these in the plan for historical documentation in case we don't want to take it out of the plan. And then if someone ever requests an audit of the retirement plan and then ask, hey, why did the city manager get, whatever benefit without having the service, we still have it within the plan. So the only time we would take that out is like if he were to, whoever the city manager was to pass away, and then they're no longer going to be relevant within the plan anymore. We typically don't remove any plan features like that.
And he said all that to say what?
It was put into the plan for this one specific city manager, which it's not uncommon to have exceptions for certain employees, specifically city managers. So
That was
might have been negotiated in a contract or something like that.
That was one employee back in 2018, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So
it was a temporary change.
He's asking, Josh, is anything like this a temporary change or any changes becomes permanent?
So it only applies to this one employee, but it will stay permanently within the plan. It's not going to apply to anyone else unless the city were to make any other modifications to the plan similar to that. So it only applied to that one employee.
But it states so in here. Why would it state that? It states that the only requirement is age 65. There's no service requirements listed in here. Y'all asking us to approve this plan as it is. I think that should be removed from here. All employees should be under the same.
So it only applied to that one employee, and a lot of city managers. I believe there's also going to be investing for this employee as well. So this could have been something that was negotiated for that city manager. Yeah, I just if you scroll down to page 29, that city manager also had immediate vesting, which is why we waived the service requirement for that person. It could have been something that was negotiated within a contract, but it only applies to that one person.
So it's not in effect now.
Jimmy, you're not giving me any of this service right here, so I do not have this.
I'm sorry. What?
I do not get this.
He's saying that it was put into place
For
for
that one
that one
employee.
city
For
manager.
that one employee.
And that it'll be in our agreement for that one employee until that person dies
Okay.
or takes their retirement, but it is not in place for Mark.
And I don't have that in my contract.
Okay. All right. I just saw that and I thought all employees should have the same requirements.
Yeah, it would only apply to that one employee unless there's something else where the city wanted to open it up to another employee.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
For a question.
Anything else? No.
Not for me.
All right, Josh, thank you very much.
No problem. You have a great day. And
You too. Oh, no problem. Thanks.
So that was the first read, we'll do the second.
On September the
On
1st.
September.
We'll have the first, when we have the first reading up there.
Yeah, but that's our first information session. He will come back the next session.
I don't think we'll need him,
Okay.
but he can if y'all want him, subject to his calendar.
It is, it's a lot, it's really big.
All right, so do we want to move back down to number 6A?
8A. Or is it
Oh,
6?
6.
6, okay. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Guys, this water line improvement, iron ore pressure zone is called. It's gonna be up by the movie theater, Cody Road, in that area. And Fletcher will have some more discussion. Basically, we got a lot of 2-inch lines over there where we need our 6-inch lines. And so that's a very big project here. But I will tell you that Fletcher has had this on his request for different projects through GFA. And GFA informed him today that they approved this project for $5.1 million. Not debt forgiveness, but a 3.2303 interest rate. So we'll have to do more information, and I'm not looking for y'all to vote on this today because it's gonna take some more discussions and maybe some 2-on-2 discussions where we can see some things. I just wanted y'all to hear. And I didn't know about the GFA approval until this afternoon. That just, because again, one of the things Fletcher and I discussed is what additional revenue would this give the city? Because if you turn around and service $5 million in 20 years, your payment is $27,000 a month. And if you turn around and you put that 5.1 at that rate for 30 years, it's about 21,000. And that difference of 10 years will cost you $1 million in interest. So we've got to see the improvement, and at a later date, we will see what it does to cash flow to keep us within our debt service requirements, things of that sort. So a lot more info. It's just the beginning of this conversation.
Has there been any pressure issues in that area with what we have now?
Yes.
Yes, so this is one of the areas that, one that Brian has listed for years, and then the hydraulic water model that we've completed for the city It actually was one of our worst areas as indicated for low pressures, water flow issues in this particular zone.
Is that where we had a big break
Correct.
a few months ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is one of those particular areas, and I only have this small map just for me to read and print out, but it's this whole zone right here. It's a fairly large area of the system.
Do you know how many customers are in that zone that would be affected? Any guess?
We can,
We could definitely provide that information. I don't have it with me
Okay.
right now. That is something that we could provide. But we did a cost estimate based on our last meeting when we were discussing the water model. And Brian he's had listed probably for 15 years.
Yeah.
A lot of these lines that he keeps, having on his wish list, which when we did the hydraulic water model, they all showed up on ours. So he's definitely has a good tune on what's happening in the system.
I guess if you're going out there and fixing it all the time, you know where the
Yes,
problem
sir.
are.
Yeah.
So is this the type of project you could chip away at this a little longer over a few years?
Yes, sir, it is. So we basically have, in our breakdown, we have all of these different areas.
y'all want to open that up.
And you could actually, it is one of your attachments. You could attack that in different phases. So if you look at the Cody Road section of this particular area, that's $1 million right there. And you could attack it in such a way that you could break it up where it could be funded over a period of time. I will say that if you choose to do that, it will cost you more in the long run.
Does that have an effect on the GFA?
Yes. So the Jeep project was included for everything at one time. You could take a lesser amount from that. They're offering the 5. You don't have to take all of it. You could take the reduced amount, or you don't have to take any of it. It's just we submitted it in hopes that they were going to offer some principal forgiveness. Unfortunately, they did not. But it is a source of funding, and you could break it into different phases to make it more palatable. And that is something that could be discussed, and we could work through. And more than likely, probably one of the things you would want to look at is the questions you ask the customers, and which is the largest amount of customers that would be affected that you can improve their water.
Any other questions for Thomas for today's meeting? And again, this would be to table this discussion for September 1st.
Or A?
Or just A. Yep. B through H.
Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, discussion of the First Amendment to IGA for administration and enforcement of animal control provision.
We included in here County Manager Sims's email from July 8th, which gave everybody an understanding of some of the limitations that was coming from courts and from the municipal court. And so they looked to make some changes, and basically the gist would be is each municipal court would hear their animal control issues. It means each municipality would keep the fines and fees associated with hearing those cases. But any fines or cost charges back to animal control for holding the animal, they would be paying that back to the county. The fines and fees would be staying with each municipality. Now,
So the fines and fees could stand with each municipality, but does that offset the court
I
costs?
can't answer that at this point in time because those are some questions that I've asked. And I sent y'all several emails today. I don't know if y'all saw those threads to see it. But in 2024, we paid $13,500 for this service. In 2025, we paid $16,000, and this coming 2026, we pay $17,500. That's a little over $4,000 increase over 3 years. And the interesting part is, y'all have this letter too that I had sent you one today. This is a summary. This is from Tim. And this gives our numbers from July 1st, 2025 to their year end of June 30th, 2026. And again, I question just the reality and the perception. With 2.2 square miles, can we really have 104 cases handled by animal control with 57 dogs, 37 cats, 2 fowl, and 6 various wildlife? 41 animals entered the Habersham Animal Control from the Demorest city limits.
This could be handovers or terminals.
Could be anything. Yeah, don't know. Enforcement and 3 citations were written and 25 911 calls were made. As of July 1st, there's 58 open cases ongoing. So we had 104. We had 41 animals turned in, 3 citations, and 25 calls. And then I've got 70 calls where an officer, in case I don't believe y'all go out on animal control calls, do y'all?
Well, we started going out to call revenues. Fort County, we see cases every
And that was the issue with their magistrate court.
Western will consider cases every English citations. They'll come pick up the dog. They want to issue the home citations, legal other issues.
And how long ago would you say that started?
Last year.
How many times off the top of your head would you think y'all did that?
No, it's 3 times.
Okay, well, that's part of where I'm going with this, was just saying,
I know the other part is I called them out and said, I'm the fault.
I had that, I'll tell you what, I asked that question.
I told them that they paid for their service. And they came out and actually paid. They told the officer,
Oh, goodness, what do
I paid for that service. Honors.
I don't have managed response here, but I will share that with y'all. Because there's a difference when the public makes the call thinking it's emergency after 5 and on weekends. You don't get to make that call. They have their regulations on what is an emergency. Most of the time, the public thinks it is. And so they make the judgment, that's not an emergency. We can wait. But I will firm that up and share you exactly what Maddie said to that. And so I've asked him for some more information. I told him I didn't doubt him. I'm just having a hard time understanding this many calls. Now I know there were 2 or 3 calls on a dog on Georgia Street below the mayor's house that chased the people. But I don't have any phone calls of anybody calling me to complain. Other than that, well, they came out for 6 various wildlife and 2 fowl. That's in our numbers from them. So,
They've always told us to come out.
well, we'll ask that question too.
I mean, cows and chickens.
Y'all have that issue.
One of my neighbors told him about an armadillo tearing up his yard, and he told him that armadillo could dig anywhere he wants to.
When you call, do they consider it emergency? They come out at that point, or is that still up to their discretion?
They said, no, they don't but I called. They paid for their service.
That was one instance, or? Okay.
I haven't had any more since.
I will send y'all that email because she wrote it in there in the spot. So we can go through this, or we can table this and have Tim here in the county on September 1st. I believe they're gonna say the same thing. They're gonna, as long as their numbers can back up, and I've asked Maddie to back them up just so I can understand. And that's why our officers not involved in this. If it's inside the city limits, like 2.2 miles. And, now y'all know I get the text calls from 911 for every police and every Demorest fire call. I didn't know I needed to get animal control text messages too.
On separate.
That's what the only thing I can assume, because I've never had one. And so I'm going to be requesting that too, so I can try to keep up with some of that.
I'll give you a call if any armadillo.
So,
is there any explanation why there's also risen so much?
well, what they do is they give us they do about population. Yes, sir.
What I would do is you ask those questions, because a lot of them populate Demorest.
And I've asked for that definition of that too. That's why I'm saying, is it a Demorest mailing address? Because if it is, we cannot pay for county resident service of
There's
this.
a lot of, on the traffic stop, it takes somebody to go there and
Right.
it's in Demorest. Where I live,
Well-
live in Demorest, but I don't live in the city.
Right. Now with that, we would have to pay for that because she mentioned, Maddie mentioned that in her email for when the officer has to come, they're arrested.
Because we have a Demorest officer county
Right.
in the Demorest area, not in Demorest.
Well, if it's not in the city limits of Demorest, it's going to count against us. But if it's in the county of the Demorest mailing address, it should not be ours. Because that's in unincorporated Habersham County. So working through that still with that. And what it is for 2025, our animal care and control fees total for them was $40,330. They gave us a countywide tax digest credit of $24,160, which gave us last year's total of $16,000. So basically, they did the same formula under the same pretense of that. But they hired a mobile vet to come do the surgeries and the needs at the animal control. That's where the difference is really coming into play, because they were using the local vets at whatever cost they may or not been charging. And so they got a much better rate to be across the board instead of trying to find a vet that helped the situation, whether it's spaying or something. Oh, yes, ma'am.
We're talking about bringing those to municipal court. Something else I think we can look at is how much are we gonna be able to recoup on that cost as far as municipal court for the city reimbursement for those fees. And then something else that we probably need to look at is our charter and what kind of rules and regulations we have to train the animals and set fines and fees for those. That's something else that I think we can look at.
Good point. Thomas and I will make note of that. So, question is if y'all want to table it or move forward with it, because in the end of the day,
Well, it sounds like there's still some unanswered questions.
there is.
And this is not, this is not time sensitive.
Nope, we have
They're not
time to
gonna
do it.
shut us off if we table it a month, right?
Nope. So I can invite Tim for September 1st.
Okay.
So that means y'all will table this.
I'm in agreement with that. All right, moving on.
Yep.
Now we're going to, have a discussion or consideration of a motion to enter into executive session for real estate. Thomas, is there any other reason that?
No.
Can you do it in 15 minutes?
Can't answer that question. I don't know how many questions y'all have.
Can we just take a break now
adjourn, come back into regular session and just put it at the end. That way people not having to sit here while we're discussing it.
Isn't that what we do? We go into executive session.
They say
Yeah, there's
do
only
that.
15
I know,
minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Most of the people that are here come here all the time.
I'm saying like, we take a 15-minute break and we know it's 15 minutes versus we may go in there and be in there for an hour, and maybe wait. I mean, my preference is to have it at the end of regular session.
My preference is to roll with the way we usually do.
If I want to, then that's fine.
Andrew, do you have a preference?
We doing that.
Jimmy? Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I make a motion, we go and enter into executive session for real estate.
I'm sorry.
And guys, if you'll leave all your stuff or take some stuff.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
What if we start going on now?
Before y'all go in there.
Donnie.
I need a motion to come out of the executive session.
I make that motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Right.
All right. All right, folks, we're gonna go into the regular session. We've already done the prayers. Thank you, Councilman Davis, and we'll do the prayer. Please stand with me, if you don't mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today we're gonna get nephew ground up some kids to do that for us.
All right, so, I need we need to approve the agenda.
Y'all today, I sent y'all a request to consider amending the agenda. And it was 3 paving contracts. First one is Precision Paving and Sealing Incorporated. It does our Elmo, and this was on the shop gravel.
Can you turn your mic on?
Yes, ma'am. And Brian made a new entrance to the back and widened it, and that bid is $15,040. And I'll talk about where that money is coming from. Number 2, Brian and I had looked last year at the Bangkok, at that time Sweetbread Bangkok House parking lot that the city owns. And to redo that and to restripe that is $6,475. And that's just a beauty enhancement and improvement to that parking lot. And then back here in the dog park parking lot, we found another sinkhole from previous owners. And that's like about a 20 by 30 patch we had to dig up. And to repatch that back is $3,000. So I'm asking y'all to amend the budget to add these 3 items. Well,
Can we put it, Mayor Pro Tem, can we add that as a new, item number 10?
and there's gonna be,
Then A, B, and C.
Yep.
Then A, B, and C.
and I've got them listed on here as 1, 2, and 3, so that's fine. You can make the adjustment. The first one, what's being done at the water shop is water capital outlays, because it is an improvement that's being made to the shop. And,
We'll discuss that when we get to it.
well, he asked me,
Okay.
so. The Bangkok house would be coming from paving and sidewalks. And the 3,000 will be coming from paving and sidewalks too. There's $12,000 in that budgeted line item, and this would take 9,475.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
And then when we get to the table, or if we just table at that point.
You'll have to call a motion for that one.
Okay, everybody, good with that?
In favor?
In favor? Excellent. All right, so, appearance and public comment, please, limit your comment, 2 minutes, please. Anybody here to speak? Hearing none, we'll move on. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We need an approval of the minutes from June the 9th and July. Any motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the minutes, from those two dates, June 9th and July 9th.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Do we not have the June ready last?
So we had two June meetings. Y'all already approved the first one, but you had not approved the second one.
Okay, we have the first read of the consideration of Georgia Municipal Employee Benefit System, defined benefit retirement plan, ordinance and adoption agreement. The first read will be tonight, and the second read will be September the 1st.
That's a lot of.
Just a motion to waive.
We need a motion to waive first reading.
Make a motion to waive first reading. I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you, gentlemen. All right, now, we need a motion to accept Rebecca Brantley's resignation from the DDA. Second? All in favor?
It's like you're down to four.
Mm. You can talk to your neighbors about getting some people out here on the DDA.
Either DDA comes up with people to recommend, or we're gonna have to come up with people.
All right, we need a consideration of sewer capital projects. That would be, the dissolved oxygen analyzer for aeration basin. And, that money will come from Splash 6. We need a vote to approve $31,771.75.
Make a motion.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor? All right. Do we have to make a thing to table? That was just that. Yeah. And I need a motion to table B, which is a grit classifier.
I'll make that motion to table.
Second? All in favor? All right, I need a motion to table the water line improvement and iron ore pressure zone estimated at 5.1 million.
I'll make a motion to table, item A on
Number 9?
number 9. Second.
All in favor? Now, I need a motion for us to approve B through H under section 9, water capital projects.
So, you know, a lot of this we just got this morning, but
You've had this in the budget.
Yeah, I know, after hearing everything and listening to it, we've seen all these requests year after year for this. And we had this, you said, you budgeted for it in capital outlays, and you've got a combination of two different spots paying for all this, leaving only $68,000 in cash remaining.
To use cash remaining.
To use cash remaining
To pay for that.
to pay for that, which is gonna come out of the water and sewer, account fund. So, yeah. I'm ready to get this off the book. It sounds like it's kind of, if we don't approve it, one's gonna blow up tomorrow.
Just keep kicking
Well, the other
can
part
down the
that
road.
would be good is think about the new projects that Fletcher and Brian are gonna get to come up with. Because
One thing at a time.
Can I consider that a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve 9B through H.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. Discussion of the First Amendment to IGA for administration and enforcement of animal control. I need a motion to table it.
Make a motion to table this.
Okay. All in favor? Discussion,
I think we added the new parts. Yeah.
oh, the table, yeah, because I was looking at the other. Okay, so, number 10, A, B, and C have already been discussed by Mark as, paving projects.
Are these kind of priority projects or what?
Well,
Talk about, I guess this is your
Yeah,
chance to talk
yeah.
about it since we haven't talked.
well, what we did at the, at the shop was, it's been gravel. And when those big trucks pull up to come off that slope up onto the road, there's a lot of traction issues. And what we did was we removed part of the wooden fencing, made it wider and longer back toward the back. Because if we had to get a low boy in there right now, we couldn't do it. Could not do it without major grading. And so Brian used his guys and David Allen and totally changed that whole appearance. If you hadn't been by, please go by. Drive in and look at the backside of it. It's just changed the whole appearance. And we moved the gates further back so you can turn in to get off the road with the trailers. So you can just kind of stack up. But then coming back up, he's going to pave it just past the gate. So these trucks have traction coming up, and then they have to stop at the Habersham Mills Road. And then they could be spinning, trying to pull out and so forth. So it just came down to a safety point with that one. On the $3,000 back here, I would say that's a necessity.
Yeah.
Just to refill the parking lot back in. And if you want to pick one that's just, we're improving downtown with this additional repaving of this parking lot. It's just improving another section that we have. And it's probably more a want than necessarily a need. But while I was getting the prices, and he gave us a price for this last year, June of last year, and he kept the same exact price for that for this year.
Okay. I would also say the striping on it,
Oh,
the
yeah,
new
it's very-
striping will be.
It make a
It'll
difference
be
because I
safer.
guarantee you we can maybe pick up another parking space or two being redesigned with that in mind.
Was this repaving or seeding?
No, it would be grinding and paving. So it's 15,040 and a combined of the other two of 9,475.
Do we need a motion for each one of these
So
separately?
you can make them together,
Make them
A,
together.
B, and C.
And you got any, this is a time frame?
He's coming later this week to start LMIG 2, and he would be rolling into these after that.
A couple of days, a week?
I'd probably say a couple, you never know with the rain, and what we're going to have to do is work with Joel at Bangkok, because he opens up at 11:30, and he feels like if he can get there 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, subject to the plant opening up, so he would work totally around to be done and finished by 11 o'clock. So we've had all those discussions with that.
These are being funded from what?
Water capital outlays from the shop. And then we have a budgeted item of $12,000 for public, for paving and sidewalks. And Brian and I have some other sidewalks that have come up later where they're building the houses on Blue Ridge. Those 3 that redid the lots. There he is, and it is. It's just pieces. But we're supposed to work in tandem with the builder to redo that section. We'll do that when they're ready to talk about it. So it would only complement the development there.
Motion?
Make a motion to approve these 3 paving projects.
Second? All in favor? So now we have come to the manager's report and review of financials.
And guys, the good part is it's only 7:31. So sit back and enjoy the ride.
See, Jimmy Thomas.
Mr. Smith is no longer here to
well, to,
Nobody can pull me back now.
temporary- So
Miss Ruth can't even do it
we're
now.
gonna need somebody we're gonna need a volunteer to step up.
You're limited to 2 minutes.
Find all my papers here. All right. All right, I just spoke about the LMIG. Should be starting one day this week. The owner's wife is in some health issues, and that's why they haven't been here as of last week with that. I've emailed y'all a time or two about our 2025 delinquent tax list. And I'm pleased to say we're down to 45 accounts, probably 44 after Rhonda and I cleared one up today. And what's left to be collected is 15,567. What's interesting as I go through this, majority of these are individual, one property owner, but I've got one with two, one with three, one with two, another with two. I've got one with 7 years of past due taxes. I've got another one with 19 tracks. I got another one with 5 years, and then the rest of them are individual. And then I've got another one for 3 years. I have reached out to Tax Commissioner June Black to see when she can schedule a tax sale. In the month of July, our police officers hand-delivered letters addressing this. And so we've had a pretty good run on people coming in to pay. But some of these are just laughing by not paying when they owe 3, 5, 9 years. You know, so.
Yeah, it's like, you got one you said for 9 years?
7.
7 years. It's so unfair to all of us that pay our taxes.
Yep. And the one that's got 22, it's 22 vacant lots, or so to speak. They may have sold some of them with the housing, and it's been missed. And they owe $2,000 out of those 19. It's not a lot of money because it's just vacant lots, but it's the point. So we'll be hearing more about this, but the key is she is looking in the fall to do something. So we would have them do ours also.
Can we get an updated list of those?
Again, we can send that to everybody tomorrow. Next thing here, I know Sam is gone, but I want to brag on GCIC and courts. My report here is our aging report, which is the receivables. And if you recall, back in March, we had $95,000 in over 90-day past dues of receivables. I'm here to tell you that we've got zero. We've got zero over 60 to 90 days, and I got 5,600 in 31 to 60 days. And our limit is once they hit 60, 61 days, they are cut off until they pay it in full. And from 1 to 30, I got 3,500, and in current is 15,000. And we've got a total agent report of $24,000. I will go over the monthly net cash flow in the financials there. And with what Sam has given me as of our courts, fines, and fees from our aging report of 1/1/2001 to current. When we started this 2 months ago, we were at $219,000. We are now down to $187,000. That is 37 cases that she has brought in, starting in the month of June and July. That's an average of $874 per case. And we are talking to collection agencies for these. And there'll be some more of that coming up in the near, probably in September. But again, we've gone down from 280 to 243 accounts on this list. So they have done a fantastic job. We have sent out the bids package throughout the state on our parking lot project. I probably had 12 to 15 contractors contact myself and James Irving, and James sends them all the information. I have met with 5 as like a pre-construction conference to go through and see everything. And and all the bids are due in by August 24th, which is a Monday at 11 a.m. So we got, 20 days to go with that many people's interest, and we'll see how many continue to follow through with that. September 1st at our meeting, we will have Victor Anderson here as a special guest of honor. Can't say anymore because it's a big honor for Victor, and I'm glad to be able for us to be able to host him in this honor. Starting a week from tomorrow, or starting a week from today is August 11th. That will be our first budget meeting that we will start, and we will follow up the next week being Tuesday, August the 18th. So they will be building their budgets, and courts will have its own section since it does not report to police. In GCIC, it still doesn't report to police, but it's in police. And I've asked Casey and James to prepare their police. And then I want, because Rachel and Amy have done such a great job, I want them to have a play in that budget procedure for them, because you'll be blown away when I get to their numbers here. So both of those issues that blew up are on the right track, moving in the right direction at an exceptional speed. Well, we have another issue that's come up, probation. There's 610 cases out there that I reviewed or have been told about. And there's one in that case that I looked at that's got a 2007 date on it. We've asked Alto's probation to review those and to give us a timeline. And he kind of balked at that, didn't know when he could do that because he's a one-man show and all this. So that being said, Sam asked him to review the last 24 months because we got to know what we have with the incomplete court record she has from probation. She doesn't know where we are. It's kind of like we all didn't know where we were when we found these issues. So we are going to be looking at that issue also. So that's going to be another one that's hadn't been dealt with. That said, we will go into the financials, and we'll go into the fire department. Fire department had 5 fire calls in the month of June and 42 EMS. Their average response time on these 47 calls is 3.06 seconds. Unfortunately, they only had a full fire staffing of 97%. And you're in the wrong, clear out of that. Yeah, I don't know where you are because you don't have. Go back again. Go right there. Fire. Nope. First one.
It doesn't say fire, it says FD.
That's fire. So, so and if you scroll through this, you will see each call, whether it was fire, EMS, and it will tell you their arrival times, etc. When you go down through here, you will see when there was a vacancy or a single firefighter on the engine. So you can see that on the 14th and on the 16th. And you will see it on the 23rd. And there's somebody there, but it may mean that there's only one there, which would be the driver. And the staffing dropping to 97, this is from Chief Adams, is unacceptable. This is his report. So they'll be working on that again. So just keep that in mind. Response time was excellent. 100% occupied on them with the EMTs. Just 3% missing out of the 30 days. On the police, they had 363 calls in the month. 13 domestic calls, 6 physical, and 7 verbal. 8 accident reports, with the police department doing 5 and GSP doing 3. Traffic stops was 107, issued 49 citations. So that's roughly 50% right there. Officers completed 15 incident reports and completed 10 hours of training. Casey, a question for you in these calls. When y'all do the extra patrol to 911, is that counted as a call? Okay. Will you ask tomorrow how that is classified? Because if I look at the 363 calls, that's 12 calls a day out of the 30 days. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. The community events that Casey and our police department did was they had an employee cookout. When Seven Brew had their grand opening, they sent drinks to the police department, and Casey shared with City Hall. And we have 2 new police officers. We met Aaron, and who was our other one? Jared Baker. Yep. And then they handed out a lot of the junior officer stickers in the parks and around town.
Speaking as a taxpayer, I'd like to see if we can get similar stats to what we're getting from fire and police for animal control. I mean, I presume that my county taxes are paying for some of animal control. I don't know because it's not necessarily our
Well, we'll
but
definitely ask that
I do know
question.
what the taxpayers of Demorest also have to pay for it. So
Well,
I
again,
think for the taxpayers of Demorest, we ought to know what we're paying for.
when I have this, when they
Right.
did this report, that should not be a problem.
Right, but I'm talking about monthly. It'd
Oh,
be
I agree.
Nice to see
Nope.
stats to see what exactly
Yep.
taxpayers are paying for this. Instead of, once a year get hit up with, we had 100 animals or whatever, like, well, what's this per month? And then we can, in the future, have a better idea or grasp of what services they're providing.
Yep, perfect. I'll work on that tomorrow. All right, from Brian's group, emergency locates, he had 7. Had 291 locates, 356 work orders. We had 13 leaks, which cost us 645,000 gallons. We installed 13 new meters, which would mean roughly a little over $40,000. Our water total for the month is 43 million gallons from Baldwin, 5.6 million from Toccoa, and 6.4 from Mize, for a total round number of 55 million gallons for the month of June. We had a lot of tree debris the last couple of weeks. That's going to be more in July than what we had in June, but he had several. And with that, and our fire hydrants, Edwin did 675 fire hydrants in the month of June. That means he weed eated, painted, and serviced 33 fire hydrants by himself throughout the 1,800 that we have. It's a pretty strong number, 33 a day.
Especially with the heat we've had.
Yep, his most looks like it was 53, and his least was 24. And for whatever reason, that may have been. On the wastewater from Fletcher, the water treatment system is operating within permits. and the groundwater system is operating with all permits. All right, I'm going to do the financial highlights for courts first. That'll be the second item. You see this. This is year-to-date income statements as of June 30th, 2026. We are $280 away from our budget of $60,000 in the month of June. And that's because we raised $32,000 from those past due accounts. That means we have a net cash flow year-to-date of $38,000. And that number is only going to continue to go up, and we'll have to work with courts to see those numbers as we look at this, as we start those budgets. So that is fantastic news. And I'm going to look back at previous years to see what our totals were for courts. Under GCIC, we are $17,000 away from reaching our total budget for the year in the month of June. We're at $99,435 year to date through June 30th. And we have a net income of $25,000. We are, I'll get the monthly totals of what was for each month. I can show this to you when we get to another page here. But just remember those numbers, because we're only talking, this started in March. And then it kind of went to April and May. And what those two ladies have done is amazing. So go to your financial highlights. This is for June again. We transferred $117,000. Received, here it is, one of them right here, is $18,000 in background revenues, almost $12,000 in fines. The additional LMIG revenue was $46,000. And we'll have for next month the total cost of July 4th. And the matching LMIG funds was paid out with LMIG 1. In the month of June, we received $36,000 in SPLOST. In the month of July, we've received almost $39,000, but this is only going to reflect through June. And that was our portion of the SPLOST funding of LMIG right there. Water sales, everything is good right there. Hydrant fees, that's what we'll be transferring tomorrow from water into the hydrant fee. We paid just call it 120 in the month of June for Baldwin and 19,000 for Toccoa. There's a lot of expensive engineering fees, but we won't talk about that or anything. And then the other sewer items and supplies for water and sewer. Then we bought that trailer for $12,000. I'm going to take you, if you will go to the last one, which says income statement by department. Roll up to, you should see General Administration, Department 01. Right below that is Public Safety, Department 03. You got it? Yep. Go straight across there. There's our budget at $60,000 for courts. There's our collection of $12,000 for the month of June. And there's our total for $60,000 right there. Go down to background checks for GCIC. There's our total budget. There's where we collected $18,400 to bring us to our total of $99,000. And look at, this is an interesting one. Look at our probation and fees. We don't have a budget only of $20,000, and through June, we've only received $2,300. Because I think we're going to find there's just not a lot being done with that. And so I just want y'all to pay attention to those, because those numbers really are being handled and be handled effectively. Good part is I'm almost finished. All right, if you'll go to page 1, which shows the reconciled cash balances. On the left side, That is our cash balance as of June 30th. On the right side is our cash balances as of July 21st. You'll see the total general fund is 208 and then 256. You'll see it's splossed. We were at 702 and we're now at 741 because of that $39,000. You can see the water operating account and water meter sales, fire hydrant, and that's totaling everything up all the way to $4.7 million. And July of 21, it's a little over $5 million. Well, one of my goals have been down at the bottom, the number of months of liquidity based on unrestricted, number of months liquidity based on total cash. I told you all the goal by GMA and industry standards is 3 to 6 months. I am pleased to tell you that we have hit for the month of June 5.14 months. That means if I stopped today, we had no more income, I could pay for 5 months with no income, just with the cash on hand. Now, the good part is I don't want to go over 6 months because then we're not managing our cash correctly. But with some of these projects that we're going to be talking about, it's going to delete some of those months of that. And that's where you've got to keep it a margin in there floating with that. And this is the first time we've gone over 5 since I've been here. So this is really exciting news in that we're all doing the right thing. I told y'all we'd go to page 2, and that's where you would see the debt existing. You got a GFA loan from 2007 with $318,000, a GFA loan from 2009 for $187,000. You got a GFA loan, I'm not sure on that one, at $1.4 million. And the garbage truck loan is not counting water and sewer, but it does get thrown in there because it is serviced through the garbage fees. The bond series from 2016 is at $4.6 million. So your water and sewer minus $200,000 is $6.5 million, okay? And we've heard about from Fletcher the 5.1 million, and we've heard about some other bigger projects. And that's where it's going to be paramount that we work with Fletcher to get these, to prioritize these. And that will be coming, I'm hoping, with a retreat dates here. You can see the other one. We will be paying the final USDA loan payment on the police cars. How many is it, Casey? Is it 7 or 5? How many cars? The new ones that we'll be paying off this month. 6. And then the K-State plate readers, that's an annual payment of $15,000. And so then the other debt is the city. So if you take it all in, we're at 8.250. So feel very good with that. If you go to page 4, this is where you're going to see under the current. Nope, you should still be in your. Nope, go to your financials. Yep. Hit your financials right there. Scroll up to page 4. It's going to be general fund, budget, and actual year to date. You're going to see in here that the city received total revenue for the month of June of $122,000. Next, 2 more. Right here. And the biggest expense of income out of there is coming out from the state of LMIG at $46,000. And you can see where GCIC is, fines and forfeitures, probation, July 4th. And so that's a pretty good month. And when you look at our expenses here, we're at, below that, you'll see total expenditures, $227,000. And so we had to make up the shortfall with the $116,000 in transfers. And our total year to date is $585,000, which leaves us $677,000 to go. It's about $112,000 budget for the next 5 months. So we're very good shape with that. And then you can see the various revenue sources there. And if you go to the next page, which is 5, here's your revenues sources for water and sewer. So we're dead on track of Fletcher's projections for income, and then we're way ahead of schedule for expenses. So you can see the net income for the month and net income right there for the month and for the year. And then here's your expenses, and then revenues, again, breaks them out a little more. So we're in line with that. This last page here is going to be your SPOS page. Keep going. All right, right there. So look at this. The first one on this list is number 6. And if you look to the right side, 51,858 is for water and sewer. You go down to SPOS 7, water and sewer is 139,000. And that's where I got those numbers from. We've been hitting above budget. Our budget is like $33,000 a month. So these things are doing very well. So with that, I will just mention to y'all that there's several items I'm going to get y'all for tomorrow, and I am going to send the email out about looking at a retreat. And I do need y'all to please voice whatever your opinion is, if it's from 1 to 7, whatever. I just need y'all to communicate back what you're willing to do on a Thursday, Friday, Monday, whatever days. And I'm looking at the end of September into the 1st of October. And if somebody has a conflict, if somebody says, please, because I got to have all 5 of y'all there. Very, very important. Only one we may not make come is Megan this time. All right, guys, with that, I close my portion and see if y'all have any questions.
One thing I would like to add is like new businesses that open. Like today I found out about a new business that opened, a smoothie, coffee, tea place that opened up in the city limits I didn't know anything about. Yep, down there in the CD properties.
Yeah, we can start doing that,
yeah,
Meg, if you'll make a note of that for
How
any business, new business license that we approve.
Yeah, I'd like a monthly kind of report, so we can highlight those businesses, because like the one today, I didn't know, I guess they've been open a month, I didn't know anything about, and I immediately went and patronized them.
Oh, we've been working with them for 2 years.
Just,
I mean, subject to, we've kicked the can a long way down the road with them, because they're going through water and sewer, and they got to have an easement. And Tom, there's a lot of.
They just put up a sign.
It's been there about 2 weeks. And there's another one coming on the other book end of the cemetery where the Dollar General is, and that's in the county. Because they're working with us on, or will. Yep. I don't think they know about each other, Jimmy, but we can't stop them,
It could be the reason why they put up the sign.
Yeah.
So, but, it's in the county, they can do what they want, but we're just here to sell water and sewer if that's what they want to do. So, but that's a good.
All right, we'll open the microphone for the second and final appearance and public comment. Again, keep your comments to 2 minutes. Anybody want to speak? And we will move on to consideration of a motion to enter into executive session if needed.
Nope.
Not needed. All right, so I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
And it's 8 o'clock, so I guess I took up 30